Oh, come on, man.
Excuse me?
A great library, like a great bookstore, can open your eyes to a universe of mysteries, fantastic journeys, and epic adventures. When you open that door, like life, it's impossible to know what awaits. I'm Lindsay Schultz, owner of the Spine Bookshop, author and book dragon, and keeper of the band Book Brigade. I can ship the latest titles in your favorite genre anywhere in the continental U.S. with discounts for veterans, teachers, first responders, and librarians, and so much more. Or stop in at my shop, 244 South Lowry Street, Smyrna, Tennessee, for tea and coffee, to browse and chat. Or visit us online at thespinebookshop.com. Or call 615-768-9833. Illuminate your mind. The Spine Bookshop. We match books to people. thespinebookshop.com.
Hi, WC Turk for Revolution and Beer, revolutionandbeer.com. Again, on a little bit more of a serious note, got a great front moving in across the lake. Just unbelievable how the weather changes here in a heartbeat. We've talked about it before, but I love the Lake Superior shore. It's autumn here. It's a little cold in this lake, but we do things in the extreme at Revolution and Beer. Beer tasting in 40-degree water with a storm coming in is one of them. One of the beers we wanted to talk about this autumn, and I couldn't think with a storm like this moving in the middle of Lake Superior to do a beer review is to talk about the Anchor Big Leaf Maple that we've been trying to get to for a while here. We've been with the Oktoberfests and the pumpkin beers. It's been a big season for all of those this year. So this is my first sampling of this, and I'm kind of excited about it. I've been holding on to it for a while, and thanks to Jennifer Gluns and all the good people at, Jennifer Falk and all the good people at Gluns Beer for supplying this and bringing this to our attention. Boy, the waves are really starting to pick up here, so you'll excuse me if I'm getting bounced around. But one of the things we wanted to do, oh, look at that. And this, by the way, really, I think these old-fashioned chalice glasses are about the best beers in the world. And look at that. That is awesome. We're about to get whacked here. I think it's going to be heavy winds coming in here. And I'm just going to turn the camera a little bit so you can see the head of that front moving in as dramatically as it is. If you can see it right over here, that's unbelievable. We were watching that march across the lake. I don't think I want to stay out here for too long. But guys, let's talk beer. This, again, we're talking Anchor's Big Leaf Maple, which is perfect for autumn here. Again, the waves are really starting to pick up. It's got a beautiful, deep caramel amber color here. Got a nice head. It's got a good lacing on it. Nice cream head. Oh, it's got a little hoppy aroma, a little nuttiness, a little sweetness. Oh, that's really a nicely balanced beer. Anchor really does. They do some unbelievable stuff. Very consistent, very hot. You can feel right now that the temperature's dropped. Probably a good 5 or 6 degrees just since I started filming this. But this is really an enjoyable beer. We're gonna go back to the room. I'm gonna put on some dry clothes, get warm, cook up something with a little bit of spice and some good herbs to kind of awaken all the flavors in this beer. But boy, Anchor Brewing did it again. Big Leaf Maple. This is a seasonal. Get out there and try it, guys, while you can. And that's unbelievable. Again, WC Turk for Revolution and Beer, revolutionandbeer.com. Fleeing for shelter. Peace, guys.
Yeah, let's get to this monster instead of beating around the bush, as you just said.
Hello.
How are you, honey?
I'm good. It's
By
been
the
a
way,
rough week, but I'm good.
I used to do beer reviews on the radio and on a brief television show for a couple of years. And
Yeah.
so we went up to Wisconsin and I got some spotted cow, which you can only get in
Nice.
Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's a brilliant, brilliant beer. I'm going to back up here a little bit so people can see this. I love these chalice glasses,
Hmm.
and because they do this perfect pour.
That's awesome.
I did I
Wow.
did a perfect pour. Look at that. Look at that.
God.
A beautiful head. It's just magic.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
So there's a video online. I have to dig it up because it's not very long. Uh, but I did a review for Sierra Nevada, their Oktoberfest, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Which is
Hmm.
an annual beer, and a lot of companies do that. It's just a great, great beer. Um, very smooth. It's got some autumnal notes to it,
Sure.
and I decided I was going to do a beer review standing in Lake Superior in August. So I'm chest deep water. There's some small waves coming in, and then so Anna starts the camera from shore, and all of a sudden this storm wave moves across.
Oh
This big
no.
storm cloud sweeps
Okay.
across the lake as I'm pouring this beer, right? And and then the waves start coming up and it was just and then it just rolled right over the top of me. It was really dramatic and a little frigid, but very good. So on our television show Revolution in Beer,
Hmm.
we had, and this is a little malty. It's got this spotted cow from this brewing company, New Glarus in
Okay.
Wisconsin, who makes a whole menu of beers, and some really
Okay.
wonderful some fruit beers, and they have a raspberry beer. It's just a great company. And I've got another one here from Wisconsin. We were up there, and it's that I think you would like. I know Anna likes.
Okay.
She loves it. Actually, it's their orange shandy. It's a wheat beer, a Weiss beer, with really nicely blended but strong orange notes. So, um, let's
Okay.
so back to Spotted Cow. It's it's got some of the hoppiness of a Pilsner,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it also has that sweetness of a malt or a lager, and it's just a very refreshing beer, especially for a hot summer day. So if you're in Wisconsin, and if we get a chance, we'll make a Wisconsin run before we come up. We come down for the play in November, and
Okay.
we'll sample a couple of bottles of this.
For sure. Sure. I'm not a huge beer person,
Okay, what do you like?
but I like wine and I like liquor.
All right, all right. Any
It's just
particular?
one of those things.
No.
I like sweet.
Okay, all right.
I like
No,
sweet.
I love margaritas. I love a good Long Island. I love,
Mm.
you know,
I'm a Moscow Mule girl. That is my
Moscow
current drink of
Mule. Yeah,
choice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That or cranberry vodkas
Okay.
or
How about old fashioned?
um I don't think I've ever had one.
Really? Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we'll have to have one when I come up in February.
Bourbon. You know, I used to bartend, so I used to make it two ways. I used to give my customers two different ways. So the traditional way is, you you pour a little simple sugar or a packet of sugar, which is easier
Okay.
at a very busy bar.
Okay.
But a packet of sugar, a little bit of Angostura bitters, uh, and then and then a half a slice of orange, and then you mush those all
Okay.
together. Fill the glass with ice.
Mm.
Drop a couple of maraschino cherries in. Put an ounce
Got me
to
so far.
put an ounce into a bourbon, and then fill it with soda water. Or if you like sweeter drinks, you can fill it with Sprite or Slice or 7 Up,
Okay. That
and
sounds awesome.
kind of build in that sweetness. It brings out aspects of the orange, brings out it
Huh.
really kind of accentuates the
Okay.
maraschino cherry. It's just a very nice drink.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll have to have one. We'll have to try one.
yeah. We can. I've got a full bar here at the house, so we
Of
can
course you
experiment.
do.
Yeah, yeah. We can experiment till we're blind.
That would be an interesting podcast.
It would indeed. Hey, I've got a couple of quick announcements to make, and then
Okay, let's have it.
I promise to tell you about which you may already know, but to tell you about a a segment of literature that I kind of knew about, but didn't know what it was
Mm.
called. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But first, this hour of Well, actually, with Lindsay and Bill is brought to you by the Spine Bookshop. The Spine Bookshop helping Congress and Democrats have an actual spine since 2024. It's also brought to you by Stop. Just stop. The word, the word corporate and establishment Democrats need to hear every time they whine about swing voters who not being ready to give regular citizens. Boy, I screwed that up, didn't I? I'm going to blame it
That's
on the beer.
okay.
Let's try it again. Stop. Just stop. The word corporate and establishment Democrats need to hear every time they whine about swing voters not being ready to give regular citizens what the wealthy and powerful have been siphoning for themselves for years. And it's also brought to you by the Committee to Excoriate Socialist Pets. Get off the back of the couch and get a job and stop leeching off the system, you damn cats. So, we also have this welcome and disclosure for our new and returning friends. This program is very often a work born from frustration, parody, and opinion. Consult a doctor or mental health professional if you exhibit any of the following symptoms, taking any of this too seriously, or personally, or if you ever had the urge to ban what is said on this program, or you can just try banging some sense into your skull with a skillet or a frying pan. Failing that, just try getting a damn life. Did we say it all?
It's one of my favorite things.
We got to say it. Got to say it. Gotta,
Yes.
gotta, gotta start off with a clean slate. So,
Yes.
um, I wanted, so we went to a wedding for dear friends
Mm.
up in Wisconsin. And I'll characterize
Okay.
it this way, very simple way, that it was sort of an Amish wedding. It was in
I heard her yell at you that that's not what it was.
it really kind of wasn't, but it was. Yeah, the groomsmen all wore suspenders and white shirts and these felt hats, and it was in a barn. A beautiful barn, very beautiful place. A resort center or a nature center, but they have
Mm.
receptions and weddings in this barn and the adjacent building, and uh,
Sure.
it was a beautiful wedding. So we went up there with Carrie Kendall and her boyfriend Kevin, who's a filmmaker, and we were
Yeah.
talking about first off, before I get to this literature bit, we were talking about AI, and he's
Mhm.
more of a traditionalist.
Sure.
filmmaker, even though he's been delving into AI. And so we were discussing this in a more abstract way. And
Okay.
and I equated what he's doing, and this goes to our longer term AI discussion. Uh,
Mm.
that there's a reality to AI that it allows men to explore their fantasy ego, and
Yeah.
men are all misgivings, their egos are just drenched in misgivings, right?
Sure.
Unlike women, which is why I think there's a proliferation among men in the AI industry that you don't necessarily find in among women. And
Yeah.
yeah, but it all goes back to the Napoleon Dynamite, who Uncle Rico. Remember? Do you remember the movie? And Uncle Rico,
Yeah. Uncle Rico. Yes.
he's videotaping himself. He's living out of his van, but he's videotaping himself throwing the football in the big game in high school.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
he's
Yep.
going to relive that moment again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
And it led
Mm-hmm.
me to this, that men do that. And that is, I think, a big allure of AI for men, is that it allows you, because all men, myself included, we all hearken back to a day in which we think that there's a moment we could have gone big. We could have been president, an astronaut, the greatest artist, the
I can see that argument.
right, and it all kind of revolves around our sexuality,
Sure.
and so and we're and now we're able to minimalistically, at least, recreate some of that vision egotism with AI.
Okay, I could see
Yeah.
that.
And
Well,
and
I think it applies to women too, because
yeah,
women tend to go in and use the filters to make us look prettier and get rid of our wrinkles, and
but that's
so
in real time.
there's a vanity aspect
Yeah.
there for women as well, I think.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. I'm seeing it from a male perspective. Uh and so I
A
really
lot of women use filters like, let me soften up my face, let me
yeah.
remove my wrinkles, let me, add makeup that I don't know how to do, but I'll use AI to put makeup on my face, So I think that it's not so much about sexuality, it's more about vanity.
Yeah, and I think the difference is you can also make an argument in that case that women are by necessity or by social pressure having to compete in a world in which youth and beauty and age uh, are factors, right?
Yeah, I would, yeah,
In judging a woman's value to
yeah.
the society. So if you look like you're 60, you might not necessarily be respected for the age and the life that you've lived and the wisdom that you've collected,
I
unlike a
think
man.
though,
Yeah.
my generation of 60
Uh-huh.
is going to be full of dyed hair, piercings, and tattoos. So I don't think that, because I'm 49
Yeah.
and I'm about to be 50, and I frequently get mistaken for being in my late 30s, early 40s,
Okay.
and I'm totally fine with that. And I think it has everything to do with the fact that I normally, I need to get my roots done, obviously, but I have my hair dyed and I have facial piercings and tattoos. I don't look my age. So I think when we have this generation of women and men that are going to get to be in our 60s and 70s, we're all going to have tattoos and piercings and funky colored hair, and we're not going to look the age that we're supposed to look.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's true, and but I will tell you this from my perspective. I see people that are my age who dress like old people did when I was a kid in the 60s.
Hmm.
You
Oh
know,
yeah, there's definitely that
so
doddering quality.
yeah, yeah. Where they're uh loose plain dresses and baggy
Okay,
thick nylon
why
sensible
do
shoes.
women cut their hair? What is that? Do they get to a certain age and they cut their hair? Because my hair will be long to the day that I die.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
And they all get that haircut
yeah.
that looks like you put a football on your head. And I mean, I'm not trying to be
Yeah,
insulting,
yeah.
but like, why?
Yeah, yeah. At some point, because you know, as a woman, and Anna's gone through a ton of different hairstyles over the years,
Hmm.
bob cuts and all that.
Hmm.
That you kind of go to a look and the shape of your face,
Hmm.
So, but there's an age. I don't want to say appropriate. There's an age differential
Yeah,
that comes into play. It
sure.
comes into play, but yeah, the sort of stacked, super uh,
It's awful.
super coiffed, um, matriarchal hair, right?
No,
Is
no, I just will
Yeah,
not. I
but
will
that's
never, not
but
ever.
but there are women who do that now, who grew up in the age of disco and rock and roll
Yeah.
and
And I do not understand it.
yeah, and big hair and and punk and all that, and but suddenly they reverted to this same look, that and men do it too, this same look
Yeah.
that people have had for 100 years.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, guys who retire and but still wear their blue or brown or gray work uniform, or
Those
kind of a
commercials
safety
where
thing.
the insurance is talking about the old, the people who become like their parents.
Yeah,
That commercial's funny for a reason.
yeah, yeah. Um,
I know some of those people. Like, I watch some of their skits. I'm like, oh my God, I know somebody that does that.
yeah,
It's terrible.
it's insane. So,
I
um,
personally want to have like all my tattoos and my hair color, all of my hair to be like purple when I die,
there you go. There you go. Don't.
Especially since according to you, I'm going to have my own library someday.
That's
So,
right. That's right. Yeah, you're gonna have to look the part of the radical librarian. Um,
not a librarian.
uh, so one of the things the other thing that we talked about that I wanted to ask you about. Have you ever heard of uh, ergodic literature?
No.
Okay. And I'm going to read this from Wikipedia because it's
Okay.
rather succinct, but then it needs some explaining. And
Okay.
ergodic literature is a mode of textual organization in which non-trivial effort is required for the reader to traverse beyond simple eye movement or turning pages. The term comes from the Greek ergon, work, hodos, path, literally meaning the reader must work to travel through the text. Was coined by Espen J. Arseth, who was a physics and computer tech professor who is from Bergen, the same town that my ancestors came from,
Okay.
which I thought was really interesting. But it it's often created through unconventional navigation, puzzles, or fragmented sculptures. So I pulled out a
Can you
couple
give me
of
an example? Because I'm still not sure I understand.
I can. So uh the first earliest example are stone wall inscriptions on temples in ancient Egypt that are connected two-dimensionally on one wall and three-dimensionally from wall to wall or room to room. So
Okay.
that kind of begins this art form.
Kind
Uh,
of like verbal murals, maybe?
Michael Joyce. Have you heard of Michael Joyce?
Yes.
Okay. He wrote a book called Afternoon, a Story, uh, which is one of the earliest examples of hypertext, along with his book Victory Garden. Guillaume Apollinaire uh, had a collection of poems which, quote, fork out on the page. The words and sentences and the page uh, are spread out in many directions and invite linking, jumping with no clear right sequence. It can be, and it's considered, and alternatively, an example of concrete or visual poetry, but it's also an aspect of this ergodic literature, and that's calligrams. I know you've
Okay.
heard of this author. I've read him, and I really struggled to keep up with him. But when I did,
Mm.
I was just astounded. And Kevin brought him up as an example. The Dictionary of Khazars, Milorad Pavić. Have you heard of Milorad
Mhm.
Pavić?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have Dictionary of Khazars on the bookshelf
yeah.
over here. Three referenced mini encyclopedias, sometimes contradicting each other, each compiled from the sources of one major Abrahamic religions. Additionally, a ballet adaptation was staged at a theater in Belgrade. He also did that with painted landscapes with Milorad Pavić. But someone else, and I saw this example of an unbound book that each of the
Mm.
chapters were meant to be pulled out individually and read in random order. You could read them literally, or you could read them in
That
random.
would drive me crazy.
Okay.
That would make my OCD just go insane.
So I played with this unknowingly a little bit. I wrote a book of poetry about Sarajevo, small book, 20 poems,
Okay.
for Anna, and
Mm.
in which I built the text from a large typeface to a short typeface,
Mm.
to a large open typeface to a short or even back to a large, more cramped typeface in which all the words run
Okay.
together. Uh, I
Okay.
I wrote a book. I wrote a poem about infinity in a spiral pattern in which the words begin
I know
large
what you're talking about now. I know
and then
exactly what you're talking about now.
spiraled into to unreadable points, right?
I've seen that kind of stuff. I know what
Yes.
I've seen
Yeah.
spiral point. Okay. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
now. Okay. I got
Yeah.
it. Yep.
So
Um,
sort of the MC Escher-ish
yeah.
Escher of literature.
There's an author that does that, and I cannot think of who it is, and it's
Uh-huh.
really interesting. That's gonna bug me now, but I
Mhm.
know exactly what you're talking about now.
So and I'm sure you've heard of interactive fiction.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Choose your own adventure, that kind of stuff.
yes, yeah, well, but you use you're typing in commands. Maybe it's over the internet. So it's changing constantly with the inputs of the other player.
Hmm.
But it's all in narrative form.
Yeah,
That
D&D is like that.
precisely that is an example of ergodic literature.
Okay, that's really cool.
I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So
Oh my gosh, that's so neat.
that's what we were talking about at the wedding.
That's really cool.
Uh-huh. So
So while you were at the wedding, we did an event here in Nashville.
okay,
We attended an event here in Nashville called
okay.
Teas and Tropes. And apparently it originally came out of Arizona. So there were a bunch of attendees out of Arizona. It was so much fun. We got to go to like the aftermarket fair on Friday night,
Wow.
and we got to go to the dance on Saturday night, and the dance was held in the Parthenon in Nashville under the big statue of Athena. Oh my God, it was so cool.
By the
It
way,
was the neat thing.
speaking of dancing, have you
Mhm.
seen or read 11/22/63 by Stephen King?
No, I have not. It's on my list though.
Uh, I'm
That's the Stephen King thing about JFK, right?
yes, and I saw I binge watched
I
the
want to do that.
series.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it's an 8 episode series with James Franco
Hmm.
uh, and Chris Patterson, I think. Uh,
Yeah.
but when I was looking, I wrote a time travel novel, and I've got part two coming up here on my Substack. Uh,
I'm excited.
in just a few weeks, as soon as I finish Oliver. Um, so I'm always looking for the incoherency or the inconsistency of
Sure.
time travel and what people do in the past and how it's reflected in the future and
Hmm.
all that. So it's really a genre in which you have to, as an author, really make sure that you're kind of a master electrician,
Yeah.
in a literary way, right? So all of those wires have to connect exactly, because if one of them doesn't,
Hmm.
people will catch you on it, or
The whole thing falls apart.
it'll throw off the logic of the entire story. So you really have to be on your
See, my
game.
whole thing, I would be so easy with the time travel machine. If I had a TARDIS, all I would do is go to every concert that I ever wanted to go to. Live Aid with the Queen, with Queen and the Soundwave, and like Led Zeppelin's first big performance, and the Beatles, and Jimi Hendrix, and Janis Joplin. I'd definitely go. I
Oh
definitely go to Woodstock.
yeah.
All I would do is go to concerts and rock my face off.
Yeah. But now
That's it.
here's where it gets interesting. And we got to take a break in just a moment, but here's where time travel gets interesting, is
Mm.
because you can go with the best of intentions. And I thought they did this
Something
really,
always
really
goes
well.
wrong.
Yeah, and I thought that they did this really, really well with 11/22/63. Is James
I'll have to
Franco?
watch it and then we'll have to discuss it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. James Franco makes some innocent mistakes that begin to unravel time, and he does it sort of by mistake, right?
Yeah.
He does it accidentally.
Okay.
He's not purposely trying to do, but stuff happens. You interact with other
Sure. As
people.
it does.
Interact with other people, and random things happen. Stuff is gonna change history.
Right.
It's gonna ripple through time. So,
Of course it does. It's
and
called the
I thought,
butterfly effect.
yes, yes, and I thought they did a really nice job of that. And so please watch it. I'm
Okay. Have
really
you seen
interested.
the Odyssey yet?
I have not. No, not yet. So
Oh my
we haven't
God.
haven't really had time, but I'll get to
You
see.
gotta go see. I want to see what you have to say. I'm
Okay,
dying.
okay, okay. Um,
Oh, and I found out back to our when we were talking about whether they used AI or not.
right.
So Cersei, they used puppets. They did
Okay,
not use AI.
okay.
And the only AI they used on the Cyclops, oh God, what was it? It was like the way the eye moved and
Yeah, I
stuff,
guess
like
it was
the
really
facial.
minimalistic, that they used
Oh
any
yeah, and
AI.
he shot it on film, which is
Yeah,
just friggin' brilliant. I just
yeah.
but then all these people are like, oh well, Christopher Nolan and blah blah blah, and we need a historically accurate one, and I'm like, Smith, first
Yeah.
Smith, calm down, just an interpretation.
Yep, yep. So it's sort of like getting upset about the historical inaccuracies of MASH, right? So
Right.
it's a semi-made up story.
So, speaking of MASH,
Yeah.
so I have decided that if the drag queen law comes up again in Tennessee and they start harumping about it again, I'm gonna try and get time to speak in front of it. And all I'm gonna do is be like, all right, y'all want to ban drag queens and that kind of stuff. Cool. So we need to ban, before we do that, we need to ban Robin Williams, Benny Hill,
Yeah.
all of the cast of Carol Burnett Show, Saturday Night Live, David Bowie, Queen, Shakespeare, MASH. And I'm just going to spend 3 minutes listing off every
Yeah.
single
I don't know if
person.
you saw if you saw my Facebook today. So I took a picture of the four of us before the wedding,
Mm.
seated in the barn. Carrie Kendall was very nice enough to put me in a white wedding dress and post that online.
I have a three-piece suit and a fedora.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I did wear a dress on our radio show one time. If we hit a certain level, we were helping a local newspaper, independent
mm,
newspaper. If we hit a
mm.
certain level, I promised the audience that I would wear a dress online. We exceeded that, and I wore a dress. I wore
Oh, I love that so
a
much.
nice little floral gown. So, and
I love
I
it.
think I nailed it. So we're
That's
going to take a
just
quick break. You're
fantastic.
listening to Well, actually, with Lindsay and Bill. Like us on Facebook. We've got much more to talk about. I've got
Oh
another
yeah.
beer that I'm going to sample.
I'm
Uh,
gonna get some water really quickly.
there you go. And we'll be right back right after this. How about that?
Stay tuned for more Well, actually, with Lindsay and Bill after this quick break.
That's an excerpt from my online novel, The Adventures of Oliver the Talking Cat, exclusively at wcturk.substack.com. WC Turk here, Bill from Well Actually with Lindsay and, well, me. We are the new kids on the block, on the media block, and we'd like to invite you to help us grow. If you are a viewer, please like, subscribe, and share our podcast and help support community affirming progressive media. And if you're a business, we invite you to take a chance and advertise with us as we grow. In the next episode, we'll be putting up an ad for Lindsay's independent bookstore down in Smyrna, Tennessee, The Spine, to show you the creative strength of this program. Contact me at williamturk@yahoo.com for more information. We think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And now, back to the show.
Books are adventure and discovery, and books can heal. When you open that door, like life, just imagine what awaits. I'm Lindsay Schultz, owner of the Spine Bookshop in Smyrna, Tennessee. I'm also an author and book dragon, and keeper of the Banned Book Brigade. Visit us online at thespinebookshop.com or call 615-768-9833. Illuminate your mind. The Spine Bookshop. Thespinebookshop.com. We match books to people.
And now, back to the show.
And we're back. Hey, Linz. I am going to. So
Mm.
I've got another beer that we got up in Wisconsin. Whoops.
You need to turn on your camera.
That would be a good idea. How about that? I've got Leinenkugel's Orange Shandy, which is
Mm.
I don't know if it's a summer beer. I know you can now get their summer shandy with a that's been around, been out for a few years. The orange
Okay.
candy is a fairly new beer. I think it might just
Cool.
be a year old, but so we
Okay.
have to do the perfect pour again. Um, but so the summer shandy, I've noticed you can get maybe year round, maybe almost the year round, but um,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't,
Cool.
so but this is brand new. I really wanted to try it, and it is. So I had a sip earlier of Anna's beer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. You said you're not a beer drinker. Um, have you?
It gives me a really wicked hangover, whereas I can have like an entire bottle of wine and wake up the next morning and feel totally fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you ever had Blue Moon
Oh yeah, no, I like if I'm gonna have a beer, I like Blue Moon.
with the orange slice?
That or Fat Tire.
Fat Tire is a great beer. Um, maybe a little bit less sweet, but
Yeah.
it's just a great dark beer.
Yeah, I've been to the New Belgium Brewery in Fort Collins,
Yeah.
Colorado.
Okay. All right. Well, there you
It was
go.
fun. I
Uh-huh.
gave the guy such a ration of shit about not being able to get it down in Tennessee. And
Uh-huh.
so when they finally brought it into Tennessee, he sent me a case
Mm.
of like every beer they made
Wow.
in like two or three boxes with and I mean, we were friends by this point, but he's like, here's your damn beer. Now shut up.
First of all, I poured this into another glass. If you can see, I don't know if you can see the little
Lift it up just a
residue,
little bit.
the little
Lift it
residue
up.
that on the glass
There
there,
we go.
that's called lacing.
Yep,
That
yep.
that's the sign of a good
Okay.
quality beer. But it's also the sign of a properly cleaned beer glass, right? Um,
Hmm.
that holds that. But the head on this beer is still there, and I poured this now almost a minute ago, is still there,
Yeah.
and that's really so. This is a wheat beer. It's it's a little it's cloudy,
Yeah.
and but there's a really rich um there's not a strong hop to it at all. It reminds me of that Blue Moon white ale or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know which one you're
and
talking about.
yeah, yeah. And when you garnish it with a slice of orange, this already has the orange in it, and it
I
holds
love that.
really
Yeah.
well. The flavor holds really well. It's not overdone. It's not syrupy. It's not acidic. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So, so here you go.
Okay.
Line and Kugels, another great local brewery up in Wisconsin. So
Nice.
not bad at
I'm
all.
going to Minneapolis in February. Right
Mm-hmm.
after I come see you, I'm going to Minneapolis. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
So
Dude, everybody's like, why the hell are you going up there in the middle of February? Because it's American Book Festival. I gotta go.
yeah, yeah. And so we'll be a stop off rest area for you with food and liquor,
Yes. Yes.
which
Yeah, my plan is to come out for
with
two
good
nights
food.
to see you, go up to Minneapolis, spend the time that I have to up there, come spend another night with you on my way home, and go home.
All right. Yep. Yep. Use us to the hilt. Hey, I also wanted to bring this up that I thought was really interesting in the news, and I really wanted to get your take on it. Eyewitness on Glenn Hansard crash issues public warning. The band who found Glenn Hansard on the roadside after his fatal motorcycle crash has issued a firm public statement urging people to stop pressuring him for a story and to let the musicians family grieve in peace. Hansard, 56, died in a single
Who
vehicle
is
crash.
this?
Uh, Glenn Hansard. Um, you know, I should probably
Hang
look
on.
up who Glenn Hansard
Let me look
is
this up.
precisely. And
Glenn Hanser?
Glenn Hansard, H-A-N.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
um,
Irish rock band, right?
I think
The
so.
Commitments. Yeah, I know who that is.
That's right.
Okay, I know who
That's
that
right.
is.
Yes, 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 yes. And then see, I kept
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I kept confusing him um with this movie one or once. Um,
He wrote a song for it. He
did
won
he?
an Academy Award for it. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's yeah, yeah. So he was an Oscar-winning Irish singer.
Uh-huh.
And he apparently won Oscar for the Best Original Song in 2008 for Falling Slowly from the film Once.
Yeah,
And
okay.
he
That
appeared as Outspan Foster in the 1991 film The Commitments. And,
yes.
and he also starred in Once.
Oh, so he did star in once.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay, okay. So that's where I knew him from. So
Yeah, yeah,
so he died in near Dublin, Strawberry Beds in near Dublin.
yeah.
Um,
I
so
think it was a motorcycle crash or something.
yes, yes. But this I thought was really fascinating. The eyewitness Raymond O'Connor attended Hanson's funeral on August 4th and has since spoken out on social media. In a Facebook post, he said that he had, quote, found some closure to a terrible tragedy and described the event as a, quote, tragic accident. He warned, quote,
Mhm.
people need to let the man rest and let his family grieve. I was
Yeah,
contacted this morning about selling my story. Let it be clear there is no story to be sold, and so no one contact me as I won't be replying. That's why I'm writing this.
good for him.
I thought that that was so refreshing and so
Hmm.
powerful,
Yeah,
particularly in a culture that's willing to sell damn near everything.
good
Uh,
for him.
and I couldn't help but think of the the quality of news when vultures are there immediately at a news program
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
contract with an eyewitness or a victim or first
Well,
responder.
look what they did to Princess Diana.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
literally ran her into a tunnel and
uh,
then took pictures of her dead body in the car before security got there.
right,
And
right,
those pictures were sold for millions of dollars.
right, right. So yeah, so there's just an astounding level of whorishness that we've descended to, right? Um, uh, so I
It's a
just
celebrity obsessive culture.
it is, but then again, once again, we're also not being told the entire story when it's pertinent. It's being dragged out by publishing brokers or
Yeah,
sensationalist media, and and then it's teased with advertisement or marketing schemes that
yeah,
so we don't hear the stories or the full story for months, sometimes years at a time.
yeah. Well, I agree with him in that, like, I'm not telling you my story. There's no story. It's a tragic accident.
Yeah,
Like, good for
yeah,
him. Good for
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Let the family, deal with the loss of their patriarch,
yeah, yeah,
especially someone who was in the prime of his life, apparently, and still had a lot going on. So it's a tragedy, and to sell that to paparazzi or whatever just to make a buck is would just be unconscionable.
Yeah.
So good for him for like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So all praise to Raymond O'Connor for having a conscience
Yeah.
and a soul
Yeah, because I think, I mean, I like, oh God,
in a
don't come
moral
for me, but
sense.
I can't stand the Kardashians. I hate that celebrity obsessive. Oh my God, we have to watch the reality TV show that so we can see every single thing we do, and they're the best thing. I just don't care.
And
Like the
and
only
have
reality TV shows that I watch were Project Runway and Face Off.
yeah.
And yeah, I even watched America's Next Top Model for a while. So the American Next Top Model for a while, only because I was interested in photography and I didn't care about all the drama. I just wanted to see the photos at the end and how they set them up and how they did it. I literally was like, okay, look at the camera there, and this is okay, that's cool. This is how this picture, that's the only reason I watched it. I didn't really care about the model aspect. Project Runway and Face Off, you actually have to know how to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to go onto those shows and you have to know how to cut fabric and you have to know how to make these different props and stuff for people's faces. You actually have to have a skill in how to know how to do something. So for me, that's why I like those shows is I like watching someone take a bolt of fabric and make it into
Okay.
this just
Okay.
glamazon dress. To me, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap about all the
Or a
bickering and back
sack
and
of
forth
food
and
and make
I
a sack of food and make a gourmet meal.
yeah, like that kind of stuff I'm absolutely into. But this whole I'm just famous just for the purpose of being famous and I'm gonna have cameras following around because no, 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 give me a break. You don't do anything.
Yeah. I also wanted to get your thoughts on this. Excuse me. This just happened today. Trump signs order on vaccination recommendations. President Trump signed an executive order on Monday laying out new recommendations for childhood vaccinations, and during his remarks, he mentioned that autism had a role in the guidance. It also suggested that measles, mumps, and rubella shot, known as
Oh my
MRI, should be given
God.
as three separate shots. And we'll get to the ramifications of that in a moment. And that when possible, children should be vaccinated on separate visits. So I had one take on this when I was discussing it with Anna. Her take was you've just cost parents uh, days from work and many hundreds, perhaps thousands of dollars more in
Yep.
in doctor bills, right? Um,
Yep.
and even some other ramifications. It's not currently possible to administer the MMR vaccine as three different shots. Merck stopped making
No, it's supposed
standalone
to be
measles.
done as one.
Yes, Merck, it says here, stopped making the standalone measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines in 2009, and that splitting the shot has been tried in the past with some unfortunate results. Japan split its shot in the 1990s. Mumps vaccinations there fell to about a third of children, and doctors documented hundreds of kids who became permanently deaf because of because of that. Today, Trump. This is Trump. Today, we're proud to officially announce the United States of America's gold standard childhood vaccination recommendations, and that has to do with many subjects, but including autism in particular. He said in the Oval Office, decades ago, children received only a small fraction of the vaccines required today. In those times, people were much healthier. And of course, the high
No, they
rates of
weren't.
autism now observed do not exist. So there's a reason for such epidemic rates of autism, and we're going to bring it back.
No.
So,
God. I
uh,
love how Dr. Trump is making medical decisions for
and it's
people.
also filtered through this augmented reality of an idealized past in which everything was better. Um,
Everything was not better. Yeah, okay. I love that you say that. So, okay. My mother says all the time, I really wish we could go back to the 50s. It was a better time. And I'm like, for white people,
for white people,
it
and
wasn't a good time for black people, and
but
it
not
wasn't a good time
necessarily for white
for
people either.
American
Wait,
Indians, and it wasn't a good time for women.
yeah,
It was great for straight white males.
you know, all of the graphic videos that I saw in in driver's ed class. I don't know if if they showed those, but they used to show us these graphic videos
Oh yeah.
of dead people in car accidents in driver's ed class. That
Hmm.
I'm still shaken by some of those scenes. I can still
Oh yeah,
I
they're
can still
awful.
clearly, but those were all from the 50s of guys driving into the
Hmm.
back of trucks and getting speared by a
Hmm.
thousand, you know, a
Hmm.
thousand pipes and beams and uh, you know, it's you know, crashing rollover being thrown out of the car because of no seatbelt,
Okay. Here's
no
the thing, and this is the same thing that I said
safety features.
during
Yeah,
the autism thing.
yeah.
So, oh God, and I'm trying to remember, so I
But
might get something wrong. But the
there
whole
were kids.
autism thing came out when that guy invented all of those medical findings saying that autism, all these medications and these immunizations
Yeah,
caused autism. And then all these other scientists went in and tried to replicate his studies, found that they were bunk, and he is now in prison because he's
yeah.
caused an entire generation of people to not get vaccinated. And so diseases that have been gone for decades are
Right,
now coming back because he decided that he wanted to lie about medical testing. So if Trump is sitting here going, oh, well, we're going to do this instead of what's been working for 50 years, I guarantee you there is going to be massive repercussions in the medical world of patients who are trying to follow what President Trump says, and it's going to be catastrophic. Every single thing that he says, I just ignore. I don't listen to
right.
anything that he says anymore because he's talking out his ass and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And anybody who goes after Fauci like they're doing ought to be horsewhipped
Right, right. So
because Fauci tried to warn us and he tried and now the government's going after him and they ought to be ashamed of themselves.
I still remember because I I I I was born in 1962. The
Mm,
first polio, widespread polio vaccines weren't weren't distributed till about 1955. I think that's when it was considered effective.
right.
I still remember kids in school who had twisted uh, twisted legs and had to walk with
Mm, yep.
because of polio. Um,
Mm.
we still had we still had people in iron lungs at that point. Um,
I just think, and I said this, I was talking to somebody, I said, it is criminal, in my opinion, to pass false medical information to the public, knowing that people are going to listen to you and make decisions for their health based on what you're telling them when you damn well know it's not true. And you're going to cause just catastrophic damage
yeah.
to people's lives.
How did we ever get to this point
I
where
don't
people
understand.
who are this functionally ignorant of science and
And it is
reality,
ignorant.
yeah, were ever allowed to become dog catcher, let alone
I don't understand
in
when we
charge
stop
of,
listening to scientists and doctors
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and
because I have
I
several
hate to blame
doctors
it,
in my
I hate to
family.
blame it on the internet, but I don't,
Well,
this is my
when COVID
generation.
first started warming up,
Yeah,
my sister-in-law works in New York. And I called her when COVID started ramping up. And I called her
Yeah.
and I said, "How bad is this going to get?"
Yeah.
I said, I want to know now so I can prepare. What should I do?
Yeah.
And everything that she told me happened.
Yeah.
And she predicted all of this stuff like this is what's going to happen. This, and then this, and then this, and then this. And every single thing that she told me happened. And had I not made that phone call, I would not have been prepared for that whole year where kids were in school at home.
Yeah.
And to sit there and blame whatever country you want to blame is not right. You need to blame that
How,
country's
how
government.
did they
The
not?
people didn't do it, it's the government.
So it's astounding to me. There's a guy on the radio here, Dan Proft, and he is, first of all, he's an abject racist, but he's one of these scientific racists. He'll cite you chapter and verse about this statistic and this statistic and blah blah blah, and he's not racist, but
But
yeah, exactly, precisely.
anytime that you follow up, I'm not racist, but anything
So
that you say after that is
all of these
racism.
all these people on the right-wing media who are so keen about analyzing every least perspective, but they can't seem to find cause to explore the most obvious perspectives.
Well, I told you
They
what I said up at the state
circumnavigate
capitol.
and bend themselves completely around those obvious issues, and we've allowed this society, my generation is
Mhm.
primarily responsible for this. The baby boomer
I told you.
generation is predominantly the kids that are born between 1955 and 1965 are
Yeah.
predominantly responsible for this. We all grew up in the rock and roll era. We all grew up with
Mhm.
bell-bottom jeans and women's liberation and civil rights. And then
Mhm.
and then suddenly we get to this age where we don't like the outcome of our own existence, right? So I was going
Mhm.
to be I was going to be world famous by now. I'm not, so I'm going to blame everybody but myself.
Well,
And
I told you what I said at the state capitol last month or a couple months ago, didn't I? Did I tell you that?
no, no, no.
So, our representative, Mike Sparks,
Yeah.
whose whole shtick is I'm friends with black people. That's his whole shtick.
Mhm.
Everybody knows, oh yeah, Mike Sparks, he's friends with black people. It's a whole thing. Everybody knows about it.
I got
So,
I got a black guy who's a friend. Yeah.
yeah. So I was talking to him about what was happening in Rutherford County. And he had the audacity to be like, "Well, that's not my problem. What do you want me to do about it?" And I was like, "What do you mean that's not your problem? You're literally the representative for Rutherford County. I'm telling you there's a problem. What do you mean it's not your problem?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I ended up leaving because I was so pissed off. So then I walked over to another state rep who is in Tennessee, but he's over a different district than me. But I've kind of built up a relationship with him a little bit. And we were talking. And I said, "Let me ask you a question. What are we supposed to do if I go to my state rep and I tell him about all these problems and he says, 'Oh, well, that's not my problem.' Okay, so what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm coming to you to help me. What are you going to do to help me?" "Well, you need better representation." I said, "No shit." And I said, "What are you going to help me do to get better representation?" And
Yeah.
he said, "Well, you need to get those people elected." And I said, "Okay, how about you get off your ass
What
and
does it
come
say in
down
your
to
business card,
Rutherford
dickhead?
County?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I literally said, "Why don't you get off your ass and come down to Rutherford County and help support the candidates that we're trying to get in to
Yeah.
positions of power to do the right thing instead of sitting up here in your cushy office doing nothing and telling me shit I already know, like we need better candidates." Well, no kidding. What are you going to help me do to get those better candidates in there? Why don't you throw money down there? Why don't you come and support them at rallies? Why don't you come as part of your party and help them
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of telling me the same obvious shit that everybody else is telling me?
Speaking of, on the 18th, we have a special guest.
I know. Oh, yeah. So he, yeah, it's Tuesday night. I'm so excited. Oh, God, I'm so excited. So, Rutherford County flipped 6 seats in the commission, county commission. So one of them, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. His name, I gotta pull his name up because I want to get his name right. His name is Brendan Dowdy, and
Mhm.
he is the youngest Rutherford County commissioner ever in the history of Rutherford County. He's only 23. I adore him. He is
Yeah.
so, so intelligent and well spoken. I cannot wait to
Because
introduce you
that is
guys to
the
him.
generation that's taking it in shorts and
Uh,
is going to have to suffer through the rebuilding or the repair of everything that my
mhm.
generation and to an extent your generation, but mostly my generation is in power. All the stuff that they're screwing up, that
He,
they're tearing down. I couldn't be happier about this younger generation.
oh, so I remember after one of the school shootings. And it was all the kids, all the high schoolers that came up to DC and were rallying and stuff. And some of them were talking, and they all started, they were like, we are now 18 and we are going to be voting, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I just remember going, oh my God, it's going to be wonderful to see this group of people stand up and be like, nope. And so when I found out that Brendan won, I screamed. I was so freaking happy because not only that, but Kathy Watts won, Connie Kasha won. Oh, there was a whole bunch of them. I know all of them. And I can't come up with all their names right now, but like a whole bunch of them that I know all won. And it was just, God, thank you, God.
That should be
Jesus.
that and that should be a clear shot across the bow for these
Oh
intransigent
yeah.
Republicans, MAGA Republicans, who are
Mhm.
really ruining the country. Uh,
Yeah, there. So
we
the
all
week
grew
before
up,
the election,
yeah.
all these signs started popping up all over Rutherford County. Keep Rutherford County red. Keep Tennessee red. Blah blah blah.
What the
Man,
fuck
and
does
like
that mean?
Jerry, I don't even know. But Jerry Green, I think it's Jerry Green.
Yeah.
She's running against Marsha Blackburn, who, oh God, just God, I don't even know how to even
I thought
Marsha
Marsha
Blackburn.
Blackburn, and I could be wrong. I thought Marsha Blackburn was from Minnesota. She's from Kentucky, from Tennessee.
Oh no, but she's running in Tennessee and
Boy,
God bless. She is a different animal, man. I just like she did this commercial, and I don't know if you've seen this commercial, but you need to look it up. She did this commercial where she, yeah, Jerry Green is running against her. So she did this commercial where she's sitting in a fake Chinese food restaurant with all the like stereotypical Chinese food, you know, with the cat and the whole thing, and is crushing fortune cookies. We're not going to deal with China anymore. And it was the most racist bullshit I have ever seen in my life. And just, you know, those cookies probably came from somewhere inside the United States.
yeah,
And fortune cookies, from my understanding, are an American thing.
it's so these people all grew up at the time I did. They learned civics and social studies the way I learned it, uh, but apparently it never stuck. because they really want to uh, run this country off the rails,
Yeah.
and they're doing it. They're destroying the country and they're looting the country,
Oh God.
which
If
is
Tennessee gets won by Marsha Blackburn, we are totally fucked.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, there's just so this gentleman out of Detroit, Dr. Al Sayed, they are levying the most racist accusations against him,
Oh, I'm
which
sure.
which doesn't speak to any reality about this man's character, experience,
None of this stuff is based in
ability,
reality.
or anything. What it says
Yeah.
is if you're an immigrant, or even if you're born here, but you're not born Anglo-Saxon Christian,
I
you
don't
can
even think it's Christian
you
anymore. I think it's
cannot hope
Christian
to,
Nazism.
yeah, but you cannot hope to be included in this
Nope.
country. And
Nope.
if you attempt to raise your voice, or to try to equal the playing field
Yep.
as far as representation of
Mm-hmm.
of perspectives and views in this country,
Mm-hmm.
if you are not of a narrow white tribe, you have no place here. And that is astoundingly and foundationally un-American. Because there were
Well,
Arabs
look,
who
it's the
fought
same
in the
thing.
Revolutionary War.
It's the same. Humanity's done this for centuries.
Yeah.
Look what we did to Alan Turing. Look what we did to Oppenheimer. Look what we did to the army psychologist who evaluated the guys in Nuremberg. We use these people for their intelligence to get what we need, and then as soon as we're done using them and they are no longer used to us, if they don't toe the line, we completely eradicate
Yeah,
their entire reputation
indeed.
to the
Indeed.
point that most of them have killed themselves. Alan Turing did, and so did the psychologist from the army. And they tried, and even Oppenheimer, like,
That's
you guys, this is coming. This is what's happening. I'm telling you, this is coming. I'm telling you, this is how it's gonna. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And we
it's to
have
their own peril.
we yeah we
It's to
as
white people's peril ultimately,
yeah,
as this
and
world
we
and this
do it to
country,
ourselves.
yes, becomes more and more integrated and
Hmm.
um, more and more dominated by people of color. We could either integrate and associate, or we'll just be erased under that crush of ethnicity, and it's really sad. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave it
Here's the
there.
thing that
Yeah,
I have said multiple times. If African American people and Hispanic people and all the different people that were not white, if all of them got together and rose up against white people wouldn't stand a chance, and we would deserve everything that we have coming to us.
yeah, kind of. Dane Cook put it.
But
The comedian
the
Dane Cook put it
Nazi,
really.
the Christian nationalism,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it, are so busy doing that propaganda thing of, oh, it's the black people, oh, it's the Hispanic people, oh, it's these people. They're taking out, they're so busy trying to divide everybody, which is straight out of the Nazi playbook.
yeah. We'll have to end it on this, that Dane Cook has a great line, that the aliens finally land on Earth and the door opens, and who marches off? 100-foot tall American Indians. And he goes, "Oh shit. Well, America, we had a run. We had fun for a while, but now now we're done." So,
Yeah.
hey, like us on
Sorry,
Facebook.
I get off on tangents. It's
No,
all
that's
I'm
that's
living
quite all right.
lately.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just,
We love the
it's,
tangents.
God.
That's kind of what we're here for. So, But like us on
It is
Facebook,
my
Blue
everyday
Sky.
scenario right now.
Yeah, yeah. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs down. Even it helps the algorithm.
If you have an alternative
If you don't
perspective,
do
we'd love to read
anything,
it.
yeah, please subscribe or share it. But if you don't do
Mhm.
anything, at least move that little cursor down and tap a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Do something.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure this just didn't pop up in your feed and you just stared at it blankly for an hour and 20 minutes, but who
That's
knows?
okay.
Maybe they did. But
Who
give us a
knows?
thumbs up. And again, like us on Blue Sky and Facebook, and
Yep.
YouTube. So and sure, we're trying to do something different, right? A little something different.
Yeah.
So we'll give you some good
You guys
information.
have a great day.
Yeah, yeah, you too. And we'll talk to you. So we're gonna talk one more time, or are we gonna wait and talk with our guest?
Let's wait and talk till Tuesday. I don't want
Okay,
to spoil any of the stuff for him. I'm
okay,
so excited about him.
and
And
then
I'm gonna see if we can't get a couple other political candidates that have won. I think it would be interesting to get that perspective of what's coming.
okay, cool, cool. All right, that's gonna do it for us. Stupid, stupid. Hey, folks. Before we go, Lindsay and I are asking for a little bit of help. We both care deeply about books. Lindsay and I became friends over her work fighting against book bans in her home state of Tennessee. We've written a play about book bans titled This Play Might Offend You, and we want to bring it to the stage. This play will get national attention. We also want this play to be free. We want to make a difference in this space. Lindsay and I also understand that everyone is coming up a little bit short these days. If that's you, no worries. And we hope things turn around for everyone soon. That's a big reason why we began, well, actually, in the first place. In that case, we hope that you would please share the show and the link to our fundraiser. So we booked a theater and just need to pay for it. Not a lot, but more than two working class mooks can shoulder alone. At the end of this message, and in the notes, I have posted a link to our GoFundMe. If you can spare a couple of dollars, it's greatly appreciated. If you can't, again, please share the link. Thank you. From Lindsay and me.